6. Command Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Another lovely Thursday afternoon coming at you from North Texas as our LSG Sky Chefs pull up to our 737 quote-unquote 400 in Washington National. Good to be here. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I was going to keep this kind of a little bit more of a secret. I was going to do some more videos. I was going to release some videos, and I still am going to release some videos. But today's a special day because there's a little piece of hardware that showed up from Mr. Roberto over at ThrottleTek Hardware, and I wanted to do a sneak peek stream today. You're going to see it live. You're going to see it on the camera live, and we're going to be flying around with a 737 Throttle. My full review and video is going to be coming out for you probably sometime next week. I'm actually going to be heading out of here today to go do some real-world flying. I got a call. They need some pilots flying some trips. I'm actually going to be one of the first aircraft back into Orlando on this trip coming up. So I'm going to do my part. Got to get everybody back on track. Got to recover the operation. So that's why this stream's going to be pretty short. But I think it's going to be a sweet little stream because we're going to do some 737 operations today as we sit here, and you can see the sun is rising. I've got the time set off a little bit so we can watch the sunrise. We're doing a dawn departure. We haven't done a dawn departure hardly ever on this channel, but it's just absolutely stunning, just as good as sunset in my opinion if you time it up right. So it should be a lot of fun. Max Rank in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Stephen Hayner, good to see you. Orion Vic, Jeremy Weaver, Mark Christooper, Richland Christooper, by the way. Christooper provided the thumbnail for today's super juicy stream thumbnail. Just that 737, man. This 600, I love it. People hate it. I love it. No winglets, proper Boeing. I wish it was a 400, but it is what it is. Anon Flight said, "What's up, man? Can't wait to see a real aircraft V1." Yeah, man, it's gonna be. I haven't flown a real airplane in a while, I guess, right? Oh, you mean the 737? Oh, I see what you're doing. But all right, guys, let's get this thing fired up and let's get out of here. I'll get the tiller cam online so you can see what we are going to be dealing with real quick here. I'll show you that. Going cam. So this is a temporary camera setup as well for this throttle, but this is the ThrottleTek G737 Max throttle Quadrant, and I got to tell you, it is absolutely juicy. I did one circuit in the pattern. I got all my bindings done. Everything looks good. The only thing that drives me nuts is PMDG does not provide native support for the fuel start switches, which is completely within their power to do it. Every other airplane does it on the SIP. Phoenix does it. BAE does it. I think the CRJ even does it. I mean, you can bind it. It's just PMDG, unfortunately, being lazy. So I did get it bound with the use of SPAD next. Super easy to do. So I have all my bindings done, and we're going to come back to that, and I'll show you that once we get up and running. But until then, let's get this airplane fired up and get out of here, right? So first things first, we're going to get the battery switch online. We've got ground power. Let's go ahead and connect straight to that. Let's get our emergency exit lights on. Let's get our seatbelts. Actually, we don't need seatbelts on just yet, right? Let's get some lights on up in here. Let's do this. Get that nice and bright. And on the top down here, we're going to go align nav, That looks good. We'll go bright on the dome light. Beautiful. That looks good. Airspeed. Beautiful. Flight recorder. We're not been powered up long enough for the stall warning test to go off. That's pretty cool. I like how they simulated that. Looking at the overhead here, everything else looks good. Fuel pumps are off. We'll put the logo light on, and our position lights are on. That's good. Top altitude for today's flight, I think we're only going up to 30,000. So I switched the destination to Charlotte because I am going to be flying out. I wasn't anticipating on flying out today, but I am. So I gotta do that. Now, what is beeping at me here? Is that? I wonder what's beeping at me. I wonder if that's the GSX beeping at me. Roberto Siriano was in the house. What's up, Roberto? Yes, man. This is a sneak peek stream. I'm still going to do a full-blown review video and all that, but I had to do one flight in it, man. I took it up. I got all my bindings bound, and it's just the amount of travel is unbelievable. It's awesome. So I wanted to get it fired up and do one quick little stream today. Everything else is good here. And waiting for your action. Close right entry aft. All right, so we got a close right entry aft. We'll do that here, and we're going to get this thing going. We're going to go to doors. But I can't thank you enough, Roberto, for sending it my way, and I hope we do it some justice today. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, Anon, I got. They wanted me to do that thing there. So they're quiet. We're not going to do. We're not going to do actual. We're not going to do the boarding process with GSX because it just takes too long, but we're going to get the rest of the airplane fired up here. Mr. Jeff Weber Actor is coming in with a massive $20 dono already right out of the gate. Thank you so much for your support, man. He says, here's to you and Roberto. I would have never found the 320 V3 Flightbox and this one without you. Thanks and cheers from Austin, Texas. Jeff Weber Actor, thank you so much, man, for your support on the channel. I'm glad you're enjoying your Flightbox. He's got the Flightbox V3, which is the Airbus thrust lever quadrant, and he has the G737 Max. And what's kind of cool is, so on the 7.3, and you guys may not know this, but the 737 Max does, in fact, have the new start levers. But, in fact, like Southwest, their new 737-800s, they're all shipping with these new start levers. So it's kind of cool to have those simulated right here as well. And it's one of my favorite things to do is to move those fuel cutoff levers. That's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and set the brake while we're sitting here as well. Brake works just as fine. Flap detent, spoiler, all that good stuff. You'll see it in action when we get flying. But, yeah, it's kind of neat that PMDG did allow us to configure whatever start switches we want. So it's a good deal. I'm loving it. All right, we've got that offline for now, and let me get the box set up here first. So we're going to arrow to the right, take the left position, come back over here, set IRS, boom. We're going DCA to Charlotte. So I was going to go to Charleston, but like I said, because of my my flight tonight, that we're gonna bail on that. So we're going to Scram 6 to Glank intersection off of 1, And I want to get off the gate here because it's going to be an absolutely stunning departure with the sunrise. So scram off to Glank. From there, we're going direct to Lehigh. Is that right? Lima Hotel Yankee. Someone out there on the East Coast. Ooh, not in database? Oh, yeah, it's backwards. LYH. There we go. Lynchburg, not Lehigh. Lynchburg. Execute, and then from there we're going to pick up the arrival. The Chesley 5 into Charlotte. I have no idea what they're landing right now. If we're blasting off one here in Charlotte, they're probably landing north down. I'm sorry, if we're blasting off north in DC, they're probably doing north flow in Charlotte as well. So let's do the 3-6 center. Let's just set up 3-6 center on the Chesley 5. There it is. And off the Lynchburg transition. Execute. Done. Done. All the late NGs. There you go. Just like the Model 320 Neo, a lot of NGs are shipped with max features. Yep. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. And, I mean, oh, here we go again. With Microsoft being Microsoft. But it's kind of neat that, I mean, there's a lot of things PMDG is lacking, but the fact that they let you customize your things like start levers and all the different equipment options that you have is pretty cool. So, all right, we're going to do a payload here. We have to still do all of our payload from this box. We need 13,500 of fuel. So we're going to do total fuel, and we're just going to go ahead and instantly fill it. That works for me. As far as payload, let's go over to ground services. And we don't need to do fuel, but let's do passengers. We're taking 112 passengers. So we're going to do that, and we need to open the forward door. We're going to do jetway and start boarding. So we'll just wait in real time for the boarding to complete. But that's good. As far as cargo is going, we are taking 3,200 forward. Oh, it's actually, I'm sorry, 2,100. Let's cancel that. 2,100 forward, and we'll take 1,800 aft, and we need to, those are the targets, so we need to get forward and aft loaders called up to the aircraft. So we're going to wait for that. Sun is rising. Here we go. Love having all these peripherals available these days. We were limited to the Microsoft Sidewinder, joystick, and Logitech stuff. Dude, I remember my Sidewinder. Absolutely love that. Good old Sidewinder, man. Would love if Tolis gave us options because I hate the old weather radar. The new radio panel looks interesting. Yeah, Lauren, I haven't seen any of the brand new radio panels. I know what they're supposed to be when they come out, but I haven't seen any on the line yet. Not quite sure what this airplane is doing here, going back and forth, but it would be nice to be able to swap radars out. Matt says, I'm sorry, but the Airbus thrust levers are so much better looking. Boeing levers look like you're about to flip a giant circuit breaker. Hey, man, I won't argue with that. I won't argue with that. Looks like somebody just landed on one. Nice. He's landing on one. Beautiful morning to be flying in and out of DC. So I do have my instruments configured old school way here because I'm trying to wish we had a proper classic with round gauge instruments, but that's about as close as I can get. So we'll set the barrow up here like that. Let's come back to the overhead. Let's do the forward fuel pump, and let's get the APU online while we're sitting here. We can do that as well. Get the APU spooling up. Oh, and actually, before we do that, let's get the forward carts, aft carts, and as soon as they show up, we will start the boarding process. Good luck flying with Boeing. I know, man. Hey, I gotta say, though, the PMDG does a really good job of the flying. The flight model of the PMDG is just, I don't know if it's, like Flight Deck the Sim says, you know, there's some performance issues with it, whether it be too slippery or too draggy in certain configurations, but as far as the feel of flying the airplane, it's really, really nice. They did a good job. Aft fuel pump. Did I do the forward? It would actually start without it, but because you guys are pro pilots, we'll do that. How's that? You actually don't even need it. All right, so our carts are arriving. So let's go ahead and start right now. Come on, baby. V1Sim, make sure you grab the FSTL when you get downtown. Evil Cookie, man, I'm not interested in fake traffic in my sim, unfortunately. I know a lot of y'all love having sim traffic, which is great. I understand it. But look, at the end of the day, if I'm going to be waiting for traffic on my sim, I want it to be other live players, such as VatSim or something like that. I don't really want fake traffic. That's not for me. Not for me. Steven, exactly. The frames in the PMDG are phenomenal, too. They did a phenomenal job with frames. Absolutely optimized the heck out of this airplane. Makes it all that much more fun to fly, too. All right, so they're connecting here. Fuel on board is 13.5, which is set in the box there. We can actually start both. That's good. We'll wait to update our weights. The APU is on. Let's go ahead and transfer. Oops. Let's go ahead and transfer generators. We can get rid of the ground power. Since our fuel is done, let's just go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign on as well. And I believe we have enough time. Yep. For the Shaker 1, we can turn dome light. Let's go dome light off for now. What else can we do while we're waiting around? We can set our top altitude as 30,000, 50 feet on the landing elevation. That looks good. Overhead is pretty much configured. Our barrel refs are set. No ATC, so let's just dial in 300 here on the MCP. Got to get my technology or my terminology right. MCP. I am playing live right now, correct. 30,000 feet, top altitude is set, flight director's off, everything else looks good, oil quantities are good. And we can actually kind of skip back through here and probably get rid of the ground power. We'll go ahead and disconnect the ground power, that's good. And we can go ahead and pull chocks as well. Oh, we need to set, let's set chocks until we're done with cargo. No, we're done with cargo. Detaching, disconnecting, they're getting out of here. Things are looking up. FSTL is not only live traffic, it's also just a set of model matching stuff, so it also works like AIG with better sounding and looking models while super. Interesting. Maybe I don't really fully understand it yet. I might look into it. But honestly, I mean, short of VatSim. I mean, and how many times are we on VatSim, really, you know? I know, I'm sure XP will probably pick it up. He's got all the connections when it comes to model matching and all that good stuff. Simple Takeoffs. Good day, man. Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you on board, my friend. Let's go ahead and get the APU bleed on right now. Packs or engine bleeds can come off. Let's get some air in here while we're sitting at the gate finishing up our boarding process. Looks like they are all done and departing. Good. Let's go back to doors. Make sure everything else is closed except the forward entry. It is. So that's good. We're looking good here. We're looking good. As far as people go, we have 12 more to go. Cruise altitude is 30,000 feet. That is set. We'll do a zero fuel weight here as soon as we get 112 on board. So 4 more people coming down the jet bridge and we're out of here. Do planes pull out on the runway right as you're landing like every other fake traffic? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't seem to have an issue with the frames with AIG, though. I really don't. Maybe it's something worth looking into. What I do have an issue with is frames on this particular airport. This is that DCA with the new version, and it's definitely heavier on frames, especially when I jump views around. All right, so that is good. We are boarded up. Let's go ahead and pull chocks. Let's go ahead and do a zero fuel weight, 105.8. We're taking a reserve of 3,000, cost index of 75. That is set. Execute. N1 limit. We're not going to derate. We'll do a flaps 5 for cinematic purposes. Speeds 15, 17, 27. Let's go back here. Payload trim is 17.7%, which will give us 6.4 on the wheel here. So let's dial this in. Not sure, Tyson, that American has been pushing back and pulling into the gate the entire time I've been here, even before the stream started. There's 6.4 is what we said. 6.4. Close enough. That looks good. So our speeds are set, a trim is set. We'll put this back on the legs page. Or actually, no, before we do that, we need to doors, close. All right, and I think we're about ready to go. Let's get GSX to push us back. We will get a toolbar push back.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
All right, departure clearance requested, and we also need to pull the jetway.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
I guess we're going to push with the jetway attached. She's coming out. We're going to lock the gear, and we're on our way. Chuck Blake, absolutely, man. It's about that time. It's about time to get the Boeing cam on.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Oh, and let's do our 2000. For VATSIM. Position 1, and we should be on Unicom 22.8 as well. That is set. Beautiful. All right.
Locking gear.
Yeah, ready to go. Get off some of these dome lights, I guess, huh? Alright, dome light off, please. And hydraulics all on for push. We get our window heaters on. That looks good. Packs off for pushback. And fuel pumps on. Nothing in the center tank, so we're going to just do aft tanks. And we're ready. What does she want? GSX is still so finicky, man. I don't think I can in good faith recommend GSX. I don't know. It's so finicky. Oh, look, I forgot to disconnect the jet bridge. There we go. Oh well, we're gonna leave the jet bridge on.
Release parking brakes.
Brakes released. Clear push.
Release parking brakes.
Released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Here we go. Can you tell us why you prefer Airbus over Boeing? Because I fly the Airbus, man. Currently flying the Airbus, that's why. Alright, we're on our way. Let's go ahead and do a... There's the jetway finally detaching. Oh, we never got our beacon on. And let's go ahead and ground 2. This is my favorite part so far. Start switches, baby. Right about there. Jamie Wilson, welcome to Private Pilot. Glad to have you on board. Welcome. Sorry, my arm is in the way. Like I was determining if I was even going to do that side cam or not, but I got it up for now.
Set parking brakes.
Brake set.
To ground. We have a good engine. Start. You can disconnect.
Alright, they're going to pull the tug and tow. Look at that. That background is awesome. Look at the reflection there. Oh, that is sweet. There's a new Boeing throttle move automatically. No, they're not motorized. They're not motorized.
Unlocking gear.
The only thing I hate on the bus are these crosswind landings. Not the best at that. Hey, man. Especially if you're landing in hurricane force winds. Definitely takes some getting used to. That is for sure.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
All right, she's out of here. We'll go ahead and start this one from inside.
Right is clear.
All right, turning 1. Watch this, so you can watch it happen in real time. So you can watch the start switch, and then you can watch me manipulate the start switch as well. Yeah, the Roberto's got a point there. So like a motorized throttle quadrant, you're looking minimum probably $3,000. Minimum $3,000. This one retails for the high 600s, mid 600s. Is that right, Roberto? I should have checked myself. But look at that, right there. I love seeing that. That's just, it's so fun. It's so fun. But yeah, this one is it is. Wait till you see me flying around. We'll do a full hand-flown arrival as well when we get to Charlotte, so we'll get full use of the thrust levers. But just taxiing around and having, one thing I was really surprised about too is the range, and I said this at the very, the range of motion on the 737 throttle quadrant. I think it's actually longer than in an Airbus. So like the Airbus, probably if you were to include the reverse range on an Airbus, the entire axis is probably close to the whole axis on a Boeing. But without the reverse range on the Airbus, the Boeing levers travel further in space than the Airbus. I don't know the actual measurements on it, but just when I got to mess with these, it's amazing how much travel you actually have. All right, let's go ahead and finish cleaning up the airplane, though. We got two good starts here. Let's go yaw damper on, continuous. That's on. Gonna get a dual bleed. Sorry, that's coming back to auto. Probe heat is on as well. Pressurization is set. Everything else looks good on the overhead. Let's go flight director 1, flight director 2, and we'll do our rest of the MCP holding short of the runway. Let's go brakes released, taxi light on, and let's roll. Oh. It's so fun. So fun. Oh, flaps 5, guys. What am I thinking? That could have been bad. Flaps 5. We'll do it Southwest style. We'll get rolling before we configure the airplane. Wow, I missed a whole bunch of stuff too. It's alright, Southwest style. We'll survive. Uh-oh, is that DC online? Let's see. Oh, DC Tower's hopped on. Let's go ahead and we'll hold short here at spot 3. Brakes are set. Let's go ahead and turn taxi light off, and let's call National Tower on 1910. Now we're gonna actually have to like taxi and stuff. We're at spot 3, which I believe is, yeah, right here. National Tower, good morning. Cactus 357 Alpha, spot 3, taxi. We probably actually need a clearance too, don't we? Good. Oh, 119er 10. Yoke shirt cam, yeah. Mr. Martini, it was a last minute decision if I was gonna use the yoke cam today, but yoke slash shirt cam. National Tower, good morning, Cactus 357 Alpha, spot 3 with Alpha, ready for clearance to Charlotte.
Cactus 357 Alpha, Washington Tower, good afternoon, cleared to Charlotte via SneakPeak departure, next tradition, that's out. Maintain 5,000, spec level 30010 minutes after departure. Departure offline, squawk 3443.
Alright, clear to Charlotte Scram, 6 departure clearance cast filed, 5,000, 30010, departure offline, squawk 3443, Cactus 357 Alpha.
Cactus 357 Alpha, read back correct, Cockpit, the runway mobile departure.
I will tech, roger, we'll call you back, Cactus 357 Alpha. Alright, 344. 3443 is in the squawk 1, and we've got Alpha, and we're ready to taxi out. Everything else is the same, except we've got a 10,000 initial. Here's my pen and paper right here. There's my, there is my clearance for you guys. That's, if I were to write it down in real life, that's what I would have wrote. That's my shorthand. Is there a hotkey to move the altitude at faster? I feel like I used to move it quicker. And Charlotte Tower, Cactus 357, spot 3, ready taxi.
Cactus 357, runway 1, taxi via Juliet, cross runway 4.
Taxi to 1, cross, taxi to 1 via Juliet, clear cross runway 4 for Cactus 357. Alright, there we go. So, Julieta, outer, cleared across, going all the way down. Let's do it. Taxi light is on. Brakes released, and now we can taxi out. Love it. Love it. Hold shift. I thought it was shift. Is it so it is shift? I love being able to put my hands on the front of the throttle again. Like, it just, the feeling is so cool. It's, for those of you that maybe picked up the Flightbox, the V3, or even the mini box where you have the full-size Airbus levers, it's the same level of excitement when you get the Boeing ones. I mean, it's awesome. And it's kind of hard to see, and it will be in my full feature review, but even the tracks on these thrust levers have this nice, like, leather-looking dust cover, and it looks so good. And we got to make sure we don't go on to runway 1. We got to continue hard right here. That's runway 1, so we almost went on the wrong taxiway there. Would be fitting. May or may not have allegedly ever had a near runway incursion here in DC many years ago.
Hey B, just wanted to thank you for that awesome shout out last night. Greatly appreciated. Got some new hardware, Airbus, coming to my channel as well. Good times ahead. Thank you again. Side note, recently moved to DX Manager. Like
manager. Mr. Wrongside Sim is in the house. Dude, thank you so much for the $10 Donald bank angle check right back at you. That's awesome, man. Good to see it. I can't wait to see what Airbus hardware you got over on your channel, Wrongside Simulations. He's moved to Dispatch Manager. Hey, well, are you working tonight, tomorrow, or Saturday? Because I'm flying. I think I'm going to be one of our flights back into Orlando, man, on Friday. So my whole pairing's already messed up. It's like no hotel assigned, nothing. I'm like, oh boy. There's about 37 deadheading crew members going to Orlando, so it should be a fun time. I'm actually leaving tonight, so. But thanks again for your support, man. All right, we're going to cross 1-4, and then we're going to be ready to go. Let's do a takeoff config check. Nothing. We're good. What is our V2? 127. So I'm going to do this all now, so when we cross it normally, we're ready to go. We got 127 is set, auto throttle on. We can LNAV, VNAV off the ground. Everything else looks good. That should have been an RTO. A little bit rusty on the Boeing side. but we'll get there. We'll probably dedicate 3, 4, 5 stream. We'll probably do a Boeing week with the Boeing thrust levers because it's hard to put down, guys. It is fun. It is so fun, especially when you start doing some hand flowing approaches. And I know all you Boeing drivers, that's your number one thing about the Boeing. It's like, well, I'm really flying it. Well, you're really, really flying it when you have full-size thrust levers that actually move full travel. Yeah, Lauren, the taxiway layout here is pretty bad. We would turn our lights on here right now, crossing 4, but we'll pretend it's closed. Flying out of your home airport today? Absolutely love the north departure. Nice, Richland. I like it too. This was my first ever departure in real life on an airliner, and it was actually the same livery, U.S. Airways white and blue livery, just like this. I took off of runway 1 out of Washington National. My first ever airline departure in real life was out of DC. Do the Toga buttons work? Yes, on the thrust lever. So you do have the Toga buttons here, and you have the auto thrust.
Alpha, wind 030 on 13, gust 19, runway 1 for takeoff.
Runway 1 clear for takeoff, Cactus 357 Alpha. All right, everything is good to go. Lights are on. MCP is set. Let's go. And the, so yes, the Toga push buttons work, and the auto, oh, I got my wheel drag in there. The auto thrust disconnect works. I will have, again, this is a sneak peek video. This is the G737 Max throttle, if you're interested in it already. But I am going to be doing my full traditional review video breakdown. I'll show you close up all about it. Expect that to come out probably beginning of next week. I was going to do it this weekend, but because I'm going back to work now, we're not going to have enough time. So we're good. They're already there, Christy. Engine start switches are already there because I'm a boss. And we need to be on ignition left for continuous. So I'll double check that here as we line up. See if I can line up a 737 better than I can an Airbus. I think I can. Look at that lineup. Absolutely crushed it. Okay, we'll get rid of that. We are cont ignition left. Are you guys ready? Let's do this. Flight directors are on. Master left. Spool them up. 50. Nose forward on the stick. Here we go. Toga. Nice. Yep, so the Toga buttons are bound just like they would be in the real throttle. Nice and easy. Positive rate. You're up. Goodbye, DC. Should have started the left turn, but I was cinematic. Cinematic looking here.
Active 357 for the ATC available. Please change advisory crew level.
Have a good one, Cactus 357. Thanks for popping on. 20 degrees pitch maximum. Even if the flight directors command more, it's one of the only things I really remember. So we're pretty much set 20 degrees. There's that speed reference system going off. Yeah, left turn soon as practical. We milked that one, man. We milked it. But look at the view, though. Look at that view. There's DC right there. Pretty sure we almost got shot down. This is not a standard departure. Let's go flaps 1. Love the flap lever. You actually lift up on it like you do in the real 737 throttle quadrant or flap lever. Slides right into the detent. We're at flaps 1 now. Yeah, we're actually going to clean it all the way up. I know we're all over this departure, but I have to fly the actual departure this weekend, so let's enjoy the views on this one. Flap 0. Clean it up. We can't confirm you almost got shot down. Yeah, we got close there. I remember when they were coming out with these RNAV departures. Turn the sim down a little bit. I remember when they were coming out with these RNAVs, and basically it was NOTAM saying that, hey, just let the airplane fly it in nav. It'll be okay if you violate. We need to see what's going on. And I can only imagine that, like, the Defense Department was like, okay, we need to deactivate all of our ground-to-air munitions at this point because we're probably going to have RJs and stuff flying over P-56. P-56 is the prohibited airspace. It's labeled P-56. That's prohibited for, that's what P stands for. And but yeah, I remember like, yeah, just let the airplane fly it. And there was a couple times taking off in an Embraer. I remember getting really close to that north side of the river there, getting a little sketched out. All right, let's go all the way up. Oh yeah, shift works much better. We're going all the way to 30,000 feet. 30,000 is online. We're just hand flying it. We're going through 10 right now. Beautiful. Do you have any Boeing sim time? I actually do. I actually have a 757 Boeing sim time. Believe it or not, I was going to fly a 757 way back in the day, but only a few hours. One sim. But no 737-600. Never flown a 737-600. Nor 7. That's my only Boeing experience is the 7.5, and I say experience, I mean literally got to mess around in the sim. That was it. Like it wasn't full-blown training. Supposed to be, but it didn't get that far. Alright, everything else looks good on the overhead. Lights are off. We'll go ahead and engage the autopilot after this. We can look more at our throttles. This is just a beautiful departure in the morning here. Multi-to-sim. So the 737 spawns a tow bar instead of a nose hugger because of the clearance between the ground and the fuselage of the 7.3. Now, I don't know why the Phoenix, I think because they can get away with it. I don't know. The way GSX does it is kind of terrible in my opinion. It basically takes certain factors of the airplane and randomizes what type of tow bar or type of pushback you're going to get, which personally I think is a miss by them. I think you should just be able to select, I want this tow bar or this. Now, obviously, you're not going to be pushing back a 380 with a tow bar, but... $680 for 7.3G, exactly. So if you have more interest in this throttle, before I release my video, and I'm just going to get this out here right now, let me go ahead and engage the autopilot. Come on, flight director, come back up. A little bit more nose down trim. Right about there. Command A. Command A is on. We're climbing up to 30. N1, LNAV, VNAV speed. Everything is good. That's off. We'll turn that up and off. And go ahead and turn these off, off. And we are pressurizing. We are pressurizing. That's always a plus for 1930s tech. Let's enjoy the views. So, the exclamation point throttle command will get you more information. It'll bring you right to the link for this ThrottleTek throttle quadrant. It has all the axes, so you have a spoiler axis with a detent button, so you can arm the speed brake by moving it into the detent. You'll see that on, or you're moving it past the switch, I should say. There's an actual switch position there, so you can feel it click. There is all your flap detents, you have engine start detents, parking brake, and you have thrust reverser. Now, the way PMDG does the thrust reverser in game is kind of interesting. It works like a toggle, and that's how it works on this thrust lever quadrant as well. You flip up the thrust levers, and you throw up the reversers, and it will trigger the reverse command in the sim, and you'll get reverse thrust. Now, PMDG does it a little bit differently, where if you add throttle, you can then kind of modulate how much reverse you want to use. It'll vary aircraft to aircraft, obviously, on the binding. But one note of caution, if this is something that you are really looking into getting, I believe ThrottleTek is already backed up to about the January mark, or that's the last I heard, was right about January. So keep that in mind as well if you're thinking about purchasing, because when I release a full in-depth video and I give you the full scoop and you get to see more of it in action up close in HD video more than just a live cam like this, it might trigger a string of orders. And if you went down the Airbus Throttle game, or whether it was the Flight Sim Project Side Stick game, it can take a while to end up getting your order. So just keep that in mind. But as of right now, I mean, it's I love it. Like, it was... When it got to my house and I put it together, I was really impressed with how clean it looked and how smooth it is. So, and then when I got in the sim and hand flew some patterns, I was like, whoa, it changes the way you fly the airplane. Just like the Flightbox changed the way I fly the Airbus in the sim. Like, you don't have to be imagining where stuff is. You just know. You looked out, there it is. Spoilers armed, flaps 5, flaps 15. You know, like, you just know. Adds that immersion. All right, we're going to continue our climb out to 30, and then we're going to have to start looking at Charlotte charts. But beautiful morning. How is FS Project doing? The lead time down at all? Richland, I actually don't know. I haven't spoken with them in quite some time. I know they typically are pretty good at keeping their website updated with lead times. So if you go to the FS Projects website, they have a timer basically saying if you order today, it will be processed on XX day. Matt, Ricardus, you're absolutely right, man. Freaking heading bugs sync. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. You're absolutely right. You can't even press the sync button. Not an Airbus. How many times am I going to forget that today? I'm about to turn here anyway. Let's preemptively swing our heading over. Right about there. 240 should be in the turn. I love this little 600. I know guys don't like the 600 for some reason, but because maybe it's not realistic, there are not too many operators, but it's only 2 feet, I think 2 feet longer than a 737-400, which US Airways operated. So, I mean, it fills a role for me that I love. Look at that. Oh, screenshot. Hold on, let me go live cam. Screenshot. Just looks so good. Do we have a wing light on? I think we do. I got a wing light on. Yeah, we can kill the logo light too. And we never turned our strobes on. Jeez, we were rusty today. I'm sorry, guys. It's alright. It was our first one. This is our first SneakPeak 737. Knock the rust off. I'll get better. I'm actually thinking about appeasing the masses and picking up the 800. I know you guys love the 737-800, but it'll be kind of cool to do the same with the ignition start switches. You know, Southwest. Maybe we'll do some real-world Southwest ops, like a day in the life of Big Earn, and we'll fly a brand new 737-800 with the new start switches, just like that are modeled here and on the ThrottleTek thrust lever. But it's fun when you look down and you get to just move your own start switches. Love it. Parking brake is a lot of fun too. The PMDG parking brake is kind of wonky though. You know how you have to press on the brake pedals all the way down, so you simultaneously, and I say wonky, but it's actually realistic. You simultaneously reach down here, move your parking brake lever while using your brake pedals on your feet. So that's how it's done on the real airplane, and you just have to make sure you are correctly doing that as well. But all right, here we go, 30,000 feet. We're leveling at 7.9 Mach. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. Let them roam. 600 and 700 is where it's at. I agree, Steven. I love this little 600, man. Just a little rocket ship. We'll go back into this cam here. A little bit of a rocket ship. I hope it's a nice day to fly today. How's the weather in New Orleans? I think I'm headed that way tonight. Collab with Big Earn. That would be something, huh? A little Big Ernie collab. I know Christy loves Big Earn. It's like his role model. But Velociraptor, I know, the 736 is a rocket ship. Very much like the 1900, or like the, not 1900, the A319. All right, how we doing? That's good. But that livery just looks spot on there. The 700 has rocket-like qualities. Yes, it does too. It does too. And I guess, you know, in the modern era of 700, 800, and 900s flying, you would put the 700 as the 319 equivalent. Because I believe the 319 is actually quite a bit longer than the 600 as well. Good old Beechcraft 1900, yeah. Flew those around, man. You just took off within the touchdown zone on a light 700? That's awesome. Yep, that'll happen. That'll happen. I've done that in the Airbus too, like super light, repose, all that stuff. It's very impressive to see what they do light. You should see how the 76200 ER flies. You know what? I've been eyeing it. What's kind of cool too is this throttle is going to be perfect for the 757 too, because they have all the same start switches. You could use it on 7.5, 7.6, and you get that range of motion. I cannot stress enough how far the range of motion is. I'm actually, when I do the breakdown video, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's the first time I pushed these all the way up to Toga to see how far. It was just like my hand kept going. Whoa. Alaska milk run on the Dash 700. Oh yeah. I did see the Phoenix update. I was thinking about doing a 2-leg stream and swapping out and doing another Airbus stream today, but I have to get ready to go to the airport myself. So I was not planning on flying today, but I am now. So I'm doing a evening departure real life quick little 3-day trip, 3 legs, not too bad. But like I said, we're going into Orlando, and I have to see. I don't know if we're going to be the first ones, but we might be, because I think Orlando is closed, right, until noon, and I'm supposed to be getting in around noon on Friday, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Am I retiring the honeycomb? Flicks, I think I'm retiring the honeycomb until we get a good turboprop. King Air steam gauge mod, I will bring the honeycomb back out. I'm really hoping we get the Q400. The Q400 would be awesome. And speaking of, I'll probably bring the honeycomb out for that. But if you are, maybe you're like just a diehard Majestic Dash 8 Q400 driver, which is a phenomenal airplane on P3D, even on FSX. I had the Majestic Dash 8 professional version for FSX because I thought I was originally going to fly the Q, so I wanted to get ahead. But ThrottleTek actually makes a full-size Q400 throttle quadrant as well. So even if you're not interested in like a 7.3 quadrant or an Airbus, check out the website at the very least. They got a lot of neat products on there. But yeah, the honeycomb I'm going to keep around for turboprops mostly, and probably any single engine stuff. And I see somebody mention the Kodiak there and a couple other ones. Does my sim count towards max duty day? No, Romulus, I wish it did. So the trip that I'm on is actually only legal by 3 minutes. Okay, 3 lonely minutes. So because if this counted as duty, I would not be legal. Right now, my throttle is mounted to a wooden stand, so I have basically a little nightstand, and I turned it on its side, so it's sitting about, the base is only about maybe a foot off the ground, because the throttle is quite tall. And again, I'll make sure I have a proper video up for you guys next week. But this whole, I mean, like, this is my hand. Like, this is a pretty tall piece of equipment. It's definitely not as big or as long as, say, the Flightbox V3, the full-size center pedestal for the Airbus that I have. But it is a pretty tall piece. I mean, like, these throttles come way up here, and then the box, you can't see it, is probably about another, 3 inches thick. And it's got a nice little weight to it. But I have it sitting on top of a nightstand, and I used Velcro pads to secure it temporarily. So I put one Velcro pad in front and one in the back. That way it doesn't wobble on me. But it is rock solid right now, and it's going to be my temporary mount. I think for a permanent mount, I'm going to put some little brackets around it. That way it's definitely not going anywhere. But so far, my testing I've done, my limited testing, it's been really stable. Because you do, again, with it being so tall like this, you do want to have a nice sturdy. Like you see, I can't even wiggle it. So that's how I have it mounted right now, Scott. I hope that helps. And my Flightbox, my Airbus throttle is about the same way. So I have it sitting on another nightstand because it's so huge. The nightstand is on its side, and it sits about. That one sits a little bit higher off the ground, probably maybe 14, 15 inches off the ground. No, it is not a repo to MCO. I don't believe it is. So let me double check. But I know it's not because I saw the crew members on there. But interestingly enough, I'm taking we call them deadheading crew members. So whenever a company needs to reposition flight crew, whether it is someone needs to go pick up an airplane or someone timed out, repositioning and flying on company metal is called deadheading. So you're not operating the flight, but you are you're technically a crew member on that flight. It's called deadheading. And I have I think I have 15 plus deadheading crew members on that flight. Because you can only imagine everybody is out of position from the hurricane this week, which, by the way, I hope everybody is pulled through okay. I have family in Naples that got slammed, and Tampa as well, but Tampa seemed to be pretty good. But hope everybody's pulled through that all right. Hey, V1 Q8 pilot, say hi, tell you hi. Tell him I learned about him from you. Jason Barzy, that's excellent, man. Is he live right now? I was not aware Q8 was live. Oh, look at that view. That's pretty neat down there. I was not aware Q8 pilot is live. Well, if he is live, let him know I said hello, and I hope he has a wonderful flight today. Flicks, it's tomorrow. It's closed until tomorrow, and that's when I'm flying in. So, like I said, I think I'm going to be one of the first airplanes into Orlando. That's why we have so many deadheading crew members on board. This is kind of a cool shot of the Appalachian Mountains. My dad lives in Bradenton. I've been checking up on him. He seems fine, thankfully. That's good. Good to hear. Yeah, deadheading is not commuting. It is. There is a difference. Diego, what's going on, my friend? It says, hello, V1. That throttle looks great. Too pricey. It's, you know what? I mean, here's the deal. You can get a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 motorized throttle quadrant, or you can spend about $400 on a entry-level setup. And that's what I think ThrottleTek has done a really good job at, is they are filling that middle ground, you know, because is this throttle 100% just like the real Boeing throttle quadrant? No, it's not motorized. Obviously, it doesn't have trim wheels. It doesn't have stab switches. But if you would be lucky to find a full throttle quadrant for less than $3,000, especially a motorized one. So the $600 price range kind of puts it in that middle ground. Like, I don't really want an entry level piece of equipment, but I don't want to do cockpit build. So yeah, this one's right about $650. Exclamation point throttle will bring you right to the page. And there's also, if you are interested in the old school start levers, there is a 737 V2 as well. This is the max variant, but you can also there's also a regular variant as well. What rudder pedals? Multi-to-sim. I'm using the MFG Crosswinds, man. MFG Crosswinds. When you fly deadheading crew, are you extra motivated to nail a landing so they don't tease? Nah, simple takeoffs, you typically, most of them, well, I tell you what, it's not like you try to do it better, but if you smash it, you're probably going to hear something, especially if you know somebody. The worst is when you have like a buddy back there, like, and you know someone, then you know, oh, well, now you know he's going to come up and say something smart, or she. But as long as you don't smash it, everyone just goes about their daily lives. I mean, deadheading crew members are either tired because they've been working all day, or they're just in the zone because they know they are getting in position to go fly, and then they got to do another fly. It's just part of the job. You don't really think about it too much. It's just becomes second nature, you know. But if you smash it, you'd probably hear something. God, the sim is looking phenomenal, though. These clouds look so good. Danny Baldoff, welcome to Private Pilot, sir. Glad to have you on board. Exclamation point welcome for your new perks here on the channel. And speaking of, for all my members, all my new members, we have a lot of new members in the channel. I really appreciate your support. You can expect, hopefully, I'll be able to get some shorts videos out tracking my real-world endeavors this next couple days. So that'll be coming to you members out there. Make sure you're checking the community tab or the Discord for updates on that. So I post my community content in the members-only section of the Discord, and I also post it on the community tab, so I can kind of filter who sees what there as well. But thank you for joining the channel. Welcome aboard. He's got a stutter. Ryan Johnson says, would you ever build a 320 home cockpit? Man, I don't think I would personally go about the endeavor myself. If there was some cockpit builder out there that wanted to embark on that endeavor with me, I wouldn't turn them down. But that is just, to me, that gets the amount of knowledge you need for cockpit building and getting the right powers and cables. And there's much more to it than just, you don't just USB plug and play, let me tell you that. So, and I'm not very good at that stuff, and that's kind of why I like the peripherals that I have, and the reason that I really support them is because these are all plug and play USB. You don't have to sit there configuring special commands, writing code to get it to work. This is literally, everything you see on my desk is plug and play USB, and you don't need any special power supply. You don't need any of that. So I think it's a good middle ground between going off the deep end with cockpit building and having entry-level equipment. Will you stream the Kodiak? Dude, there's somebody in the Discord keeps posting pictures of the Kodiak. I tell you what, I'm getting close to buying it. I I almost flew the Kodiak yesterday off stream, but I ended up picking up the PC-12 because I saw Blue Games was flying the PC-12 and the sound sounded so good on his stream and I wanted to try it, so I picked up the Coronado PC-12 and I got Coronado'd again. It's a Coronado, so a little bit disappointed with that, but I will probably pick up the Kodiak here pretty soon, yeah. I did build my computer, correct. I've built all my computers. Are we saying we can't currently order the throttle? No, Anon, you can absolutely order it right now. ! Throttle will take you to the website. I want to be clear that, you know, I am going to still do my full review video. I know a lot of you like to wait and see all the details up close, get to see some more HD footage up close of switches and things like that working. So I am going to make that, but I'm not going to be able to get to it till beginning of next week. But with that in mind, if you are, maybe you've been on the fence, like, man, I really want a 737 throttle. I was going to get one for Christmas. The current lead times, the current backup is about January right now. So, and I know Roberto is working overtime there at ThrottleTek. They're getting all from the last wave of orders when we discussed and I showcased the A320 Flightbox. It really put them to work full time over there. So right now the lead time is about January. So if it's something you're already set on, think about getting your order in before it gets too late, because the lead times, I imagine, will only go up, especially with holidays looming. Jeff Weber says, I built a modular pedestal that fits my honeycomb, MD80, and both ThrottleTeks. Maybe I'll post some pics and the dimensions on Discord to get some ideas. Jeff, that would be a fantastic idea. I would appreciate that. I'll pin those images as well if you want to do that. Jeff sounds like he's got some good solutions for mounting already, because it is kind of tricky. You do have to, you don't just want to place this on top of your desk. It's going to be kind of weird. You're going to want to secure it. So, Jeff, if you do that, tag me in the images and I'll be able to pin them so people can reference for size and whatnot. I know Team Vodka did something similar with his Flightbox when he got his as well. But that would be a great help. Appreciate you, man. Do you know if there's a difference in throttles between the 320 full and mini box? USA Flyer. No, the only difference is the size of the box itself, right? So the full-size V3, you get the trim wheels, you get the parking brake, and you get, rudder trim, I believe. And it's basically a full-size Quadrant. But I've even mentioned in the video, the mini box, for the bang for your buck, you cannot beat the A320 mini box because it's going to be much simpler to mount. It's going to be much simpler to secure somewhere. It's not as large, but you still get full-size thrust levers. You get full-size travel, range of motion. You get all the important components. But for someone like me who is, I'm a diehard, right? I went for the full size, the V3. I really like the parking brake function and a couple other features like the trim wheels and all that. But as far as the functionality and the size of the throttles, no, it's going to be the same. So, and it's half the price of the V3. The V3 is it is a commitment to your sim, absolutely. And not saying that the mini box is not a commitment. Because $600 plus $650 is still a very nice chunk of change, but it's about half the price of that full-size center pedestal. Jesper Nielsen, thank you so much for the 19 dono, man. Appreciate you. Sneak peek with the emoji, man. Thank you for your support, dude. I really appreciate that. Sneak peek indeed. This is your stream to get the sneak peek view of it. The next video will probably be a pre-recorded video when we next week sometime. All right, so here's the Chesley. Bottoms out at 6,000. Let's go ahead and dial in 6,000 while we're up here in the cockpit so we can adjust. We can just enjoy the views on the way down. We'll set 6 now. That'll be the bottom altitude. It looks like, oh, Charlotte is online. Looks like we got to actually do some stuff today. So 6,000 is set. We'll pin that. And the approach, let's see. Let's actually see what runway we're probably going to get. Charlotte arrival ATIS uniform 04014 guts 28. Woo! All right, we're going to be manually working the thrust levers today. 3020 on the meter. Expect 36 left, 36 center, and 36 right. So I hope we get the center. If we don't, we'll just taxi to park, and then I'm gonna have to get out of here. I gotta get ready. I have to shave. I got a bunch of stuff I need to do for work tonight, so I gotta make sure my iPad's in good working order. But right now we know we can descend via at 6. That's already in the box. Everything else looks good to go. We'll get rid of the throttle cam here for a little bit until we get down on approach. Once we get down on approach and all of the VNav is taken care of, we can we'll turn the throttle cam back on, and we'll do a no auto thrust. We'll turn the auto thrust off and fly it all traditional. We'll do flaps 30, 125. I like doing flaps 40 for cinematic purposes, but for the wind conditions today, we'll just stick with 30 at 125. 111.7 is the course, or I'm sorry, is the frequency. 111.7 is set both sides. Final approach course is 003. Set both sides. All right, we're looking good. So when she noses over, we know we're there. We need a gear lever for the bus. Scott, I know, man. I dropped the ball on that so hard. When I originally started working or talking with Cat 3 Design, who did the tiller, they made an Airbus-style USB full-size plug-and-play gear lever, and the gentleman offered it to me. And at the time, not knowing, you know, how my position would work out, I was like, you know what? Let's just stick with the tiller. I know that you're a business, and you know if you give products away for free, you're not making money, right? But there is a market for advertising, and I wasn't sure of how much advertising it would get. But long story long, I basically said, no, just send me the tiller, not the landing gear lever, and I'm kicking myself ever since. I would have loved to have that landing gear lever. Plug and play USB, just like the real thing. Got to pull it out, get the lock remove and all that. Would have been really neat to mount to my desk, but anyway. USA Flyer 94 coming in with a $20 bomb. Thank you so much, man, for that $20 super chat. I appreciate you. Says, appreciate you giving us a stream, even with a flight tonight. USA Flyer, thank you, man. That means a lot because, when I got notified that I was going to be, or that I could go fly, I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I have enough time to stream, but it's going to be close. I could go home, cancel the stream, but I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do the stream. We'll do one short leg, and we're here. So I appreciate you recognizing that, and thank you for your support, man. Very nice of you. Duff, man, I just saw your message up there. Just sending more Kodiak juice in the Discord. We need to see you do some bush flying in Papua New Guinea, just like Missionary Bush Pilot. Oh, I'm going to have to, man. Fubar, take care, bud. See ya. Good luck with the trips. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, Fubar. Hope you have a good one, dude. I just like looking at that view right there. Do you wish the Airbus would descend at TD similar to Boeing? Nah, Kieran. I like the way Airbus does it. Gives you a message. That means you always know the airplane's not going to start pitching down on you uncommanded. I don't think there's anything wrong with the way Airbus does it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the way Boeing does it, but it leaves room for error. Say that. What's the main Montana airport? The main Montana airport. What's the one in the mountains? Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. What is the main Montana airport? I'm drawing a blank on it now. I think we did a flight in there. Bozeman? I think it is Bozeman. I always use LNAV, but still struggle with the VNAV. Jackson Hole? No, that's Wyoming though, right? But I think it's Bozeman. Jack Mack, yeah, I agree. It is kind of like, you know how it just nose over. Like, what if you set something and then ATC changed it and you didn't change it? And like, I don't know. Whenever my airplane is going to move that elevator down, or actually moving it up, but anytime my automation is going to drive the nose towards the ground, I want to know what's happening. I want to do it. I don't want the airplane to just decide for me when it's going to drive the nose down. It sounds kind of silly, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I love the way the Airbus does things, but I just think there's no... Why wouldn't you? You know? You tell them you're so lazy you don't want to push a button to initiate the descent. Like, I don't know. I just think it's a more modern, updated technique. Billings, Montana. Maybe Billings. Maybe it is Billings. I don't know. That's, you know, I don't know if I've ever flown up into Montana, to be honest with you. I can't tell you last time I went up to Montana. All right, we are on the way down, though. Looking good, looking good. We'll enjoy some more views here for a few minutes, and then we are... There we go. How good would a 732 be? Oh, my gosh. Andrew, a 732 in Microsoft? Man, we could get the Piedmont Virtual Historical Group up flying again full-time on Fridays. Miss those old Piedmont liveries. The 73200 is such a fun plane to fly in the FlyJ Sim. I really hope we get one for Microsoft. I know Milviz did one in FSX. I really would like to see a classic in Microsoft. Have I tried the Thrustmaster Airbus side stick? I have, Kyle Ferris, and I would not recommend it for trying to replicate Airbus being like a legit Airbus side stick. All it is a TCA. I'm sorry, not TCA. All it is a T1600M. That's what it is. It's shaped differently. Now, if you are looking for something to give you functionality, maybe, but I don't know. I think there's better options. I think, spend a little extra money and get yourself a Warthog, but I don't know. Everybody has a different budget. Everybody has a different goal with their sim. Like if you need a stick that has multiple buttons and it's gonna be your main driver, then yeah, you're gonna need something like the TCA Airbus side stick because you can swap out which side you put it on. You have extra sliders. You have more functionality. So I 100% get that. If you're buying a stick to replicate an Airbus, then I cannot recommend that one. It is Bozeman. All right. Your grandpa flew the 732. Nice. Would it be reasonable to upgrade from a controller? Yes, Kyle Ferris. If you're like, so you're playing on maybe an Xbox controller or something, then absolutely. I think you will. It's a totally different experience, and I think you would enjoy it. Coming from a controller to a side stick is going to be enough of an improvement on their own that I think you'll really enjoy it in that case. Wish we get a Phoenix quality 350. Could you imagine? What about Phoenix quality A321neo? When will I fly X-Plane 12 again? I don't know. We'll see. In a little while. I'm in no hurry. Look at this. I'm in no hurry. That's just beautiful. I don't think anything will beat the FlyJ, but I think I'll get the... Yeah. I don't know if... the FlyJ one was great. With the maintenance, with the failures. I mean, back in the beginning of the channel, I was streaming the 73200. We had an engine fire on live, on Pilot Edge. Like, it was... you talk about having your hands full. Flying a 737-200 is... Your hands are full. Flying a 737-200 single pilot, they're more than full. Single pilot, 737-200 on Pilot Edge while streaming, you can only imagine. And then throw an engine fire on top of it. It was wild, man. You missed the white disc from X-Plane? Oh, look, here's the difference in suns. Here's a Microsoft sun. Compare that to what we were staring at in X-Plane. Like, Yeah. Yeah, Christy, you're right. Phoenix quality insert plane there. Basically, any airplane Phoenix quality would be awesome. More wild landing in Key West? I don't know. We'll see. What we will do is the new update that's out. I did download and update my Phoenix again. So I will be definitely testing it out here pretty soon. Alright, we're going to go vertical profile mode. Ah, look at that. Beautiful. Should have traffic cone on as well. Dirty up our ND. Look how cluttered the Boeing is, though. Like, why would you want to make it that it even says excess data? That's because I have waypoints on, but I don't know. I mean, that doesn't look all that bad. I do like that vertical profile view, though. Reminds me of the Embraers. And I believe FMS2 in the Airbus is going to have a vertical profile view like this. But I think it's an option, like an airline-driven option. So, depends on the operator. They may or may not get it. All right, here's 18,000. 3022 is set. And we are looking good. We're going to go continuous left. Seatbelt sign is back on. And let's get ready to get the flight recorder going so we can record this landing. So I heard you like switches. That's exactly the Boeing design philosophy, man. Exactly. All right. Recording is ready. God, it looks amazing, huh? And ooh. Am I testing the Phoenix today? No, nah, Porus. I was going to, but because of work, had a real life work obligation come up, so I am going to we're going to bail after this one. I even shortened this stream. We were going to fly all the way to Charleston, but I need to get out of here. I need to go get my work bag in order. I got to make sure all my stuff is up to date. I got to shave. I'm rocking a little bit of a beard right now, which I was really hoping I could carry into the weekend because I'm off next week. So if I didn't have to shave today, I'd have a really nice beard by the end of next week. So gonna have to shave, get all that done, get some food, and then I'll take my members along with me anyway for the trip. Isn't the NG design 40 years old? More than that, Duff Man. I think it was the 737, what, like 1930s, late 30s is when it was like the original 737? Maybe later than that. But it hasn't changed. It has not changed much. I mean, look at this overhead. This is like so excessive. So excessive. But I like buttons. And not when you hit a flock of birds and you're going to be in the Hudson. You don't like buttons. Dorian, all U.S. carriers, barring one now, require you to shave. And what I mean by that, airline transport category. Yeah, I was hoping we can get a change to that. But I know, like in Europe and Greece, but like what's that Greek airline? Olympic? No, what's the one? Like the main Greece airline. Oh my gosh, drawing a blank. They have beards and all that. Maybe it was 1903. This is your daily reminder that the 737 shares a fuselage design with the 707. Wow. Yeah. Aegean. Thank you, Zephyr. Thank you. Aegean. Thank you. Look at that. No cockpit view. I am slightly concerned, though. My right ear keeps plugging up, and I'm having a hard time unplugging it. Gonna have to bring some Afrin with me on my trip. All right, we're descending down. Let's go ahead and turn our lights on now. Let's go ahead and get this on, this on, this on. Can't do the light bar from this view for some reason. Logo and wing. We are set up top. Yeah, phase one. Nah. I can get it to pop every now and then. It's not as good. Not as easy as I'd like it to be. There's that 737 light configuration. I gotta say though, head on, it does look pretty cool. I don't know if it's just a nostalgic feeling or what, but it looks sleek. I think Charlotte is right down over here. Is that Charlotte over there? Should be able to see it pretty soon. That's off the nose still. I wonder what Boeing's going to do for the next gen 7.3. Nothing new, man. Nothing new. So they had, for the 737 MAX, Boeing actually had a new airplane. Whole new airplane, new type, everything. But they scrapped it because they wanted to save money on same type, right, and all that. Pressure from the airlines. And money talks. I talked about it on the last stream. So they actually scrapped the whole new airplane design to force it on a MAX 737 type rating. And then look what happened. So part of the accident chain, you know. Steven, if Sully tells us anything, having a rockin' mustache improves your piloting skills by 75%. I would agree with that, my friend. I wonder if I should leave the stash on today. Just go with the old mustache. It's long enough, I could do it today. But my wife just says I look like Mario when I do that. Chaos. Yeah, they went for a two-position gear lever. Definitely progress. You like the flattened engine nacelles on the 7.3? Yeah, Andy, it's different, you know. And I like it on like the classics. It just looks good without a winglet out here. But yeah, so what the reason is because it sits so low. The Boeing 7.3 sits so low on its gear. For the accessory gearbox and the accessory drive and all that, they couldn't fit it underneath the engine. So they had to actually put it on the side of the engine, and that's how you get that little squash profile. And if you look at the LEAP engines, the LEAP Neos on the Airbus, you see they have the gearbox bump. Kind of the same scenario. They couldn't really fit it directly on the bottom. They didn't want to squash the engines out, but they put the little gearbox bump on one side. Now the Pratt & Whitneys, they sit high enough, the Airbus sits high enough on its frame, you can get it all. And a slightly different fan drive gear system on the Pratt. So slightly different mechanics as well, but that's why there's no bulge on the Pratts versus the CFM. Stash or no stash? Do a poll in chat. Oh, no. I want to come back to my wife. You know, I don't want her to leave me while I'm gone because I turned into Mario. All right, we're at a 9. We're turning for the downwind. Gosh, that looks amazing. Gusty winds down here. All right, I'm going to put this back into regular plan mode. Or regular map mode. There we go. Don't want that. Don't want that. There we go. All right. Let's do this. Let's do 6,000. Yeah. Let's do level change. 210 to 6,000. Cam is online. Spoid brake is coming out. Enjoy the landing. Let's do this. We'll get a beam, and then we'll just take over and hand fly her in. Just for pilots. Florida Wings, just for pilots. Drag required, I know. All right, so we're bugging 125. Matter of fact, why don't we just hand fly the whole thing in, huh? I'm going to bug 125 up here. Yeah, I know, you're going to get mad at me. Actually, so 130? The flaps 30? 125 plus 5, 130 is good. And 7 for 6. What altitude is Glaze at? Glaze should be at, can't read it, 3,000. So let's do this. We're going to continue descent down to 3. And we need to get flaps 5. And I'm going to actually turn the autopilot off. Oh, did it the wrong way. Turn that off. Auto thrust off. Shut it off. Turn it all off. Flaps 5. We're going to do auto brake. 2 is fine. We have control. I'm actually going to turn flight director off. Off. I know this really drives some Boeing enthusiasts crazy, but I'm going to put on the bird for myself. We're spoid braking down. Charlotte is off our right wing. I think we can make it now. Let's go ahead and let's do this. Let me set up my microphone. Let's start the turn in. Here we go. Jesper, thank you so much for the 20. Can I get a quick glance of the beard? Unfortunately not, my friend. This is classified. Beard is classified. But thank you for your support. I don't know if I can't even get it on camera. My camera's set up too perfectly, so. Since I don't know how to extend the line anymore, we're just going to do this. We're going to go like this. Boom, boom, boom. And we're going all the way down to 3,000. And that'll be our go-around altitude in case we whiff. Yeah, it still lags when I pan the camera. I don't know why. That's just, it's because I need to get a game controller. I need a game controller for it. Oh, but that looks awesome, huh? Dive, dive. We are at all, gotta love it. Yeah, looking good. 180 on the speed, perfect. Man, the 7.3 hand fly is so nice, though. Like this PMDG, I'm not saying just the 7.3, but just the way PMDG has done it is so nice. All right, we'll go ahead and stow. Actually, we'll arm you. Speed brake is armed. Beard is members only, exactly. Beard will be members only. You nailed it. Alright, recording is on. Let's do this. I can see the slope coming down. 180 on the speed. Trickling down to 3,000 for 3.6 center. Gonna be gusting from the right here, pretty good. All the arrivals, 3.6 right, directly over your house. Nice, Hudson.
2,500.
Okay, time to cut you off of loving the Boeing like Flight Deck this did. Not yet. Not on the ground yet, Christy. Still love the Boeing. Still love it. Let's shallow up here. We'll catch this glide slope. Gear down. Look at that wind, 30 knots of wind pushing me over. Spicy. That's the altitude alert check. We're gonna have a nice crab on this one. We're gonna have a nice crab on this one. Flaps 25. Flap sounds 10 for frickin' 10. 11 out of 10. 11 out of 10 for PMDG flap sounds. Awesome. All right, there's the slope. There's our speed. Flaps 30. Landing checklist. Man, 30 knot crosswind? I was not anticipating this. I picked the wrong destination today. Hey, Aaron, what's up, man? A bit late, put her in Charlotte. Here we go, man. We're trying it. We're slow. I just can't believe this crab angle already. I thought we were done with this. I think we need to be 125, right? Yeah, 125. After 60, this should be easy. Yeah, you're right, Christy. But I was also in an Airbus. There we go, right on speed. It's so... Oh, I'm at flaps 40? Rip. Flaps 30. Gotta come up one step. That's gonna change things. Oh, that's right, we were doing flaps 30. I was gonna say, something didn't feel right. Gotta hand it to PMDG. I'm flying that approach like, this doesn't feel right. Because we had flaps 40 on a flaps 30 VIA. There we go. We're coming back. Now we're a little bit high. Never really want to retract a step on your flaps, especially on final like that. Yeah, look at those wind gusts coming in here now. Low correcting. A lot of low correcting. Just give myself a little extra 5 knots there. Alright, so we're on the glide slope. Pappies are not coincident. Oh boy, when's the last time I've done a crosswind landing in a freaking yoke-driven aircraft?
100. 50.
A little low.
30. 20. 10.
Oh, we buttered it, but we lost the center line there. Left rudder, left rudder. Check close hold. That's why we forgot. We forgot to check close hold. Look, I'm full left rudder and I'm still going to the right. I'm full left rudder. Full left rudder. I think I saw Flight Deck Sim mention that though in his stream. It's like on the ground it's not accurate at all. I was full left rudder and I couldn't get the nose back to the left. How was that touchdown rate? I don't even remember. It looked good in the sim, but who knows what the touchdown rates are. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and clean it up now. So that's going up, that's coming up, that's fun to do. It was a 131? Oh man, I will take that. We'll get the Apu started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Charlotte, home of Captain Shaquille O'Neal. God, those flap sounds never get old. Alright, these are all the deltoid gates. Let's go ahead and stop recording. Park Bravo 8. Oh man, that's on the other side of the airport. I don't want to go all the way over there. We'll park right over here on Matter of fact, why don't we do a hard left? I think we can make it. Do a little differential thrust. We'll put it here on the Alpha 12. Just the tip. Don't hit the fire truck. Little differential thrust. Little tiller action. Leave the lights on. Thank you, Alex! Exclamation point throttle. If you want more information on this throttle here, be more to come. Up. Brake set. And because we have the throttle levers, we have to do the ceremonial shutdown. Sweet. And then let's watch this one in the cockpit view. Boom. Love it. Spooling down. Hey, I actually remembered to put the generators on this time. You guys should be proud of me. There is no return leg, unfortunately, Aaron. I'm going to fly some real airplanes now, so I had to shut her down. We got all of our lights on, but that's all she wrote, folks. Let's watch the replay on that. Exclamation point throttle if you want to see that throttle even more. And let's reconfigure here. So I'm going to put these start switches into start, put the flap lever back, and we'll just do a ready state on PMDG actions. We'll disconnect from that sim. Like so. Load panel state. Put it on approach, right? We'll do approach. Panel state. Something is not configured. Oh, parking brake maybe? Yep, parking brake. And engines are back on. Cool. Replay time. Rapid fire parking brake. Gotta head out, Randy. Take it easy, man. Have a safe flight. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man. No 2 blues, 1 red. Engine's dead. Nah, that's too much for me to memorize, man. You know, all you Boeing drivers come up with all these crazy sayings. That's when you know you have an airplane that's just too outdated. You have to come up with all these crazy acronyms and sayings just to remember how to operate it normally. Let's go ahead and scoot her forward. That's the most annoying sound in the world, is it not? Alright, let's see how we did on our first crosswind landing here. GNR, take it easy, my friend. We'll see how this first crosswind landing was done. This is, I can't remember last time I've done a crosswind in a yoke. Nice water reflection there. Stephen, I'm glad somebody got that reference. Thank you, Tyson. Runar, appreciate you, man. I will see you on the next one. Probably won't be till next week, but I appreciate you guys coming over the trees here in Charlotte. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Gusty winds here. Winds are wiggling. Ailerons are working. Spoilers are working. See how we did. We were left to center line. I ran out of authority, but I tried. I think we touched it down nice, though. Right about there. Save it. Work it out. Ah, almost had it. Ran out of authority, though. See, we're left. Look, this is where I was full left rudder. Full left rudder. Full left rudder. Full left rudder. I came back. Guys, I'm going to let you watch a few more replays. I'm going to wrap it up here. I want a huge shout out to ThrottleTek Hardware for sponsoring this stream and giving you guys some new hardware to look at. I hope you guys check it out. ThrottleTek.com. I highly recommend it. I'll just tell you that right now. I'm having a lot of fun with it. You can expect a full feature review video coming next week. You'll see it on future streams as well. I'm out of here. I got to go do some real flying. I hope everybody stays safe, stay healthy, enjoy the weekend. Until next time, I'm V1. See ya!